So in a way, it's not a Luddite picture. You're not thinking, let's go back to the 19th century. We got to use the electric fences and various other technologies.
Listen, if you want to see me get on my hind legs, tell me that that our farm looks like Grandpa's farm. No, indeed, it doesn't look anything like Grandpa's farm. In 5 minutes, I can show you 12 things, space-age technology, that have absolutely revolutionized things. In fact, I do a talk sometimes on Thomas Jefferson's frustrations, because he was such a active farmer and wrote a lot about, he had a wonderful farm book, and we now have technological answers for every one of his frustrations, and it's just amazing. I mean, just think of living in a time, for example, without pipe. Okay, so we want to put the cows over there. Well, how do we get water to them? If all we can do is have a ditch with water running downhill, it's very limiting, as to what you can do. Now, we can put a little 50-watt pump on an end of a plastic pipe, and we can send water, out across the landscape. I mean, think about control. Whether it's nomadic with shepherds, or in Jefferson's day, if you wanted to control pigs or chickens or cows or whatever, the only fencing was split chestnut logs, a wooden fencing. Well, you can't move it, you can't change it. It's a huge investment to make. You don't even have a chainsaw to cut the stuff down. I mean, today we've got polyethylene threads with almost microscopic stainless steel filaments woven through the polyethylene thread, and we can, with a computer microchip pulsing energizer, we can send 10,000 volts of pain through a thread that you can't even see with your naked eye on polyethylene. I mean, it's incredible. This is great stuff.
So it's not, I mean, a lot of the people who are in the course promoting the conventional system or the business as usual system, I mean, they recognize a lot of the problems that people like you and others have cited, and they just think better technology, more precision, let's do no-till where we can, let's use fewer chemicals insofar as we can, and fertilize in a precision manner, et cetera, et cetera. But it's like technology is going to fix this.
Right.
You're thinking, in a way, technology is going to fix it too, or it's going to help, but that somehow the industry people are making a mistake of what? It's ignoring the pigness of the pig, right?
But I would even go one step further in that that because there was a lag in the technology that we need. That a lot of people that have, I'll just say, thrown in with the industrial paradigm, they don't realize how much of the infrastructure, the technology has moved to help, I'll say, our side. Okay, I mean, if we say there's two sides here, while they're going down the GMO or the confinement factory or the GPS technology to apply the right chemical fertilizer on this slope, and you roll over and it applies a little less based on the GPS from last year's combine, where this soil had a little more ability than this soil. I mean, that what's called precision farming. Well, let me tell you, we also practice precision farming, and I've just put together. We have 1,000 head of cattle, and over 1,200 acres, and I just did our grazing plan for this year. Based on historical cow days, so we monitor the cow days. What did this field do? What did this field do? We know that on April 15, on an average year, it's going to have 60 cow days per acre. Well, we have 500 cow equivalents. How many days can they go? Oh, we better wait there till it gets to 80 so we can move them from this field. Listen, that's pretty precise too. okay? And we use, spreadsheets and computers and calculators and our own monitoring observations to do that. And so I think the danger, there's a kind of condescending spirit, I think, sometimes in the industrial apologist that assumes that our side, we've just kind of been stuck at 1940, and do we really want to go back? And so when farm visitors come to our farm, I very quickly tell them, this wasn't here 40 years ago. This wasn't even here 20 years ago. And to make this point that the infrastructure that allowed us to leverage the pigness of the pig in its natural habitat, that infrastructure is here. I mean, a great example is the cholera epidemics. Think of Iowa, think of 1920, the hog cholera epidemics. These were terrible. Well, the reason was because, George Washington and Thomas Jefferson's pigs, which ran through the woods kind of wild, gradually morphed through the late 1800s, through the early industrialization of agriculture, into more intensive lots. Still didn't have electric fence, so what they moved was to land extensiveness into land intensiveness, but we didn't have rural electrification, plumbing, wood chipping to make bedding, cheap concrete, plastic pipe, an electric fence. And so we started putting more and more and more animals in outdoor muddy lots. And so the confinement house was a salvation to the hog cholera epidemic. But between that time, now we have plastic pipe. I mean, that didn't even come into World War II. Now we have this electric fencing. So now we can go back outside. It's kind of like viewing chat rooms, the internet. I mean, actually, what's happening right here, this class, is duplicating the kind of informational dialogue that would have happened in a tribe 500 years ago. And we can do it this way. So our side has made great strides too.